Much emphasis is put on those drivers who can sweep the NHRA's legendary Western Swing. During the NHRA's 2014 portion of the schedule, which runs from the Rockies in Denver to the wine country of Sonoma to the Great Northwest in Seattle, John Force Racing was unstoppable. Beginning with Robert Height in Denver and continuing with Courtney Force in Sonoma, the team that John built had qualified number one and won every event up until Seattle. This time, it was the old man's turn to put the exclamation mark on the Western Swing. John Force made a clean sweep of the event, qualifying number one and thundering to the winner's circle, taking down Gary Densham in a battle of seasoned veterans.
Kind of a throwback going against your old pal Gary Densham.
Jimmy Prock, Mike Neff, all these kids, John Medlin, they all team together, and they fight the same fight. That's why we win, because we're a team. And yeah, old driver helps, so I'm pretty excited about it. Racing Gary Densham was the highlight, hell, of my year. You know what I'm saying? We raced here 64 funny cars 40 years ago, raced here my first race against him at an NHRA event 34 years ago. He's a real heart-to-heart drag racer. That's what I love about him, and we got the win. I know I played a little bit. This is Mellow Yellow Land, NHRA Drag Racing, and Auto Club, all the sponsors. Traxxas, right here, Ford, Brand Source, Mac Tool, Freightliner, they make all this happen for me. And I shot out my mouth and I made that statement about 64 funny cars. This ain't corporate America. That was between me and Densham. It was awesome because I love him. But basically, at the end of the day, what really started my day, the best ever, Connie Coletta had a talk with me and said a lot about me that somebody needed to tell me. And I listened to a man that's smarter than me and a man that's done this longer than me. Thank you, Connie Coletta. God bless you.
Savor this one, John.
Amen.
It was only fitting there was a big mosh pit going on in Seattle as Doug Coletta beat Antron Brown in the Top Fuel Final to extend his point lead with just 2 races left in the regular season. There was more than just winning the race for the Coletta camp to celebrate. The triumph tied Doug Coletta with the legendary Don Garlits on the all-time wins list.
The 9th final this year for Doug Coletta and this team, but only the 2nd time to break through, and it's been a long time coming, and I know how badly this team wanted to win at this racetrack. First victory here, you tied Don Garlits, Big Daddy, 35 all time. What jumps out in your mind, Doug?
I tell you, he's the man, and I tell you, I've been chasing that little statistic down for a while trying to get there, and, just incredible day. Just really can't say enough about Jimmo and this whole Mac Tools team, and to finally get a win in Seattle. This is really something we've been trying to make happen. So, just have to thank, Redline and Technicoat and Summit and, just all the guys that support this thing, Patron and DHL, so we're real happy and, hey, finally got one here.
Jason Line showed there were no team orders in the KB Racing camp as he ran straight up to beat teammate Greg Anderson, who is battling for a spot in the countdown. Line's victory was his 2nd in a row, and for Anderson, after missing the first 5 races of the season, clawed his way into the top 10 for the first time in 2014.
What was the key to success in this one today? And going against your teammate, you needed a whole shot win.
I did. He had the better car. So, man, I don't know what the key is. The key is surrounding yourself with good people, and all the folks at Summit, Maxima Oil, Holly Carburetors, everybody that helps us. And it's been a long road back, but we are back, and we're not going to let them Dodges beat us. So it feels great, and I'm happy for Greg. He got in the top 10. A little bittersweet, but hey, it is what it is. Team Summit won today.
In the Lucas Oil Sportsman divisions, Joey Severance made a bold statement in the final round as he snagged low elapsed time and winning the top alcohol dragster crown from the number 1 qualifying position. Severance beat Chris Demke to lock up the incredible weekend. Doug Gordon was able to overcome a Sean Bellemure hole shot and catch him in the last 320 feet to secure the win. The victory was the 5th career for Gordon. Earlier in the day, there was a scary moment as Mark Telefero lost control of his top alcohol dragster and suffered this nasty crash. He walked away from the accident okay, but the same could not be said for his ride. Brandon Hatala was king of Comp Eliminator, taking down Ryan Warder in the famous joint venture entry. The battle ended early as Warder turned it red. And if you thought a stick car could no longer win, Terry Anderson proved otherwise. Anderson's Superstock H Nova jammed through the gearbox with ease when Alan Facconi fouled. Second-generation stock racer Tim Fletcher upheld the family legend as he gathered his first career national event victory, knocking off the A-Stock automatic entry driven by Mick Alley. Mark Heritage made the most of his first ever Super Comp final round, coming out on the right side of a double breakout match against Roger Comstock. Heritage was only 001 too quick in the victory. Canadian Mike Shannon was the only international winner of the day as he took the Supergas crown back to Canada, beating first-time finalist Tanner Hyatt on both ends of the drag strip. In a battle of classic Chevrolets, Kyle Coletti drove his 55 Chevy to an easy Super Street victory after John Ermish jumped the beams and was disqualified. The 24-race NHRA Mellow Yellow Tour takes a weekend off with the conclusion of the grueling Western Swing. We'll be back in 2 weeks at the Lucas Oil NHRA Nationals from Brainerd, Minnesota. Stay tuned to CompetitionPlus.com for all the latest news and make sure to like us on Facebook. Kathy Fisher, CompetitionPlus.tv.